Hello friends, it's Rick Beatty. I'm the Senior Minister here at Unity of Royal Oak in Royal Oak, Michigan. Royal Oak is part of the greater metropolitan area. We're a suburb on the north side of Detroit, an inner ring suburb. And it's always an honor to share this meditation time with you. And you notice my t-shirt says love is on the move. Hashtag love on the move, love is on the move. When I came to Unity of Royal Oak 8 years ago, 8.5 years ago, almost now, it was one of the hashtags that emerged, two, that were used to define us at the time and are redefining us now. And one of them is love is on the move. And I've had this concept in my mind for many years that one, love is a verb, love is another name for God, and love is on the move. It moves through us. It expresses itself in, through, and as each of us. So that's been a central concept for me. And then the other one is that we are more than a church. Hashtag more than a church. Because, you know, what's a church? We're more than a church. We're a community. We're a community where love is on the move. And I know that we now connect with people in Bay City, Michigan, and Kalamazoo, Michigan, and Sacramento, California, and Chicago, or the suburbs of Chicago, Illinois, and other places. A dear lady in Utah has really recently connected with us. So, if you are new to Unity of Royal Oak in any way, and if you are local or not, I'd love to hear from you. You can go to our website, which is unityofroyaloak.org. You'll find all of our ongoing activities, our street address, etc. Or you can email me at Rick, and it's R-I-C without a K, R-I-C at unityofroyaloak.org. So I want to share with you today's daily word, and I do so with permission of Unity, who publishes Daily Word. And for Wednesday, August the 24th, 2022, the key word is protection, a very common keyword in Daily Word. And the affirmation for today is Spirit within is my protection. Spirit within is my protection. We've got all kinds of things happening on the planet right now. Have you noticed? We have unprecedented monsoon rains happening across the southwest and now southeast of the country. Some of the driest places in our nation, and the water's come so fast and the ground has gotten so hard it just runs off. I'm sure it's got to be frustrating to the people out there. So we've got floods, we've got fires, we have a war, or more than one war-torn place on our planet. We have heat waves in Europe. So we have all of this stuff going on around us, and the mind wants to get really fussing with it. And I've noticed how I am with some of these things. It's like I can get caught. It's like being caught like a fish on a hook, right? Once a hook gets in you, it's pulling you along. It takes a lot to get that hook out. So I believe that getting the hook out is one of the reasons why you and I gather here on meditation, in classes that I teach, in service on Sunday, which is live streamed and local. We're in person, so wherever you are, you can connect with us. Again, unityofroyaloak.org. All right, back to Daily Word. Spirit within is my protection. Coral reefs buffer nearby coastlines from damaging storms, floods, and waves. These reefs serve as a barrier to loss and destruction, allowing the coastline to coexist with the weather and water. The storms and waves make their way to shore, but with limited impact. So there's a buffer that minimizes things, mitigates things. I imagine divine protection as my spiritual coral reef. Even if I feel afraid of life's storms, I can find protection in spirit. I am one with God. This connection is my shelter. I am courageous, confident, and resilient. I imagine a barrier surrounding me, keeping me safe. Divine protection strengthens me, steadying me as I bravely face the waves. And the Bible verse for today is, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And through the rivers they shall not overwhelm you. When you walk through fire you shall not be burned, and the flames shall not consume you. From my favorite Old Testament book, the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 2. By the way, did you know that Isaiah had at least 3 authors? And the reason it had 3 authors is because papyrus, which was the paper that the scrolls were made from, was very expensive. And so when one writer was done writing, they just left a space at the bottom and somebody else kept going. So there's at least 3 writers, so there's a little bit of Bible trivia. Spirit within is my protection. Certainly, a lot going on, as I said. And of course, the ongoing coronavirus. We've had a small outbreak in our choir here, and I'm surprised that we've lasted as long as we have without some of the stuff happening. The current variants are very communicable, more than a cough, more than measles. So we got to all keep track of ourselves and stay safe. And weather the storms. And we can find something within to stand upon. And one of the ways I find to connect with that within power, with that within presence, is some time in meditation. Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, our co-founders, called it spending time in the stillness or in the silence, to connect in the silence with Spirit. And that's what meditation is for. Just to give our minds something to do for a few minutes, and then let ourselves most deeply connect with Spirit. I call it the pause that refreshes more than any other thing that I can think of. So I'm going to, in a moment, start some music. It's going to be Heart of Oneness by Gregory Barrette today. I use it with his permission. He's a friend and a former boss and a retired Unity minister, now living in southern Florida. And Gregory, if you ever listen to this, I appreciate your having given me the permission to use this music for meditation. It's called the Heart of Oneness, Music for Meditation. But before we get to that part, before we get quiet and listen to some music together, I invite you just to scan your body. See if there's any place in you, and often in my shoulder up here, that you're holding any tension at all, anything that is stressing you. Sometimes it shows up in the body. I used to be really disconnected from my body, and I'm getting more connected. I'm not there yet. I'm almost 67 years old. I've got a lot of growing up to do yet. And as Esther Hicks often says, as she channels Abraham, it's a good thing we're eternal beings, because we have a lot of work to do. So scan your body, and if you notice any tension, just stop there for a moment, invite the tension to drain away, and it will. Invite it to just return to the nothingness from where it came from. Whatever's going on in where you are right now, if it's noisy, you can turn your attention away from it. If you hear a noise that startles you, let that noise simply be a reminder to turn within, to bring the attention back to the breath and follow the next breath inward to that place deep in us. I think of it in here somewhere, heart-lung space, where the Christ is enthroned, where the center of my being is. Because we're more than this body, we're so much more. And I find that comforting. And the Spirit of God in me is my defense. It is my buffering reef. And this time refreshes me and allows me to become centered again. So, as I said, I'm going to start some music. I invite you to center and settle. Center and settle. And take a deep breath with me. And sigh it out. Another deep breath in. Sigh it out. Another deeper breath in. Sigh it out. And in this very moment, we know that all is well. In this moment, we take a few minutes out of our day or evening or whatever time it is where we are right now to feel the connection that we have with each other, which is made possible by Spirit, which unites us all. As we continue to breathe, allowing the breath to be as it will, without forcing it or hurrying it in any way. Feel yourself begin to relax into wherever you are right now. If you're sitting in a chair like I am, or perhaps you're lying on your sofa, or you're sitting in your recliner. Maybe you're on a yoga mat. Matters not. Sitting on a park bench. Allow yourself to become aware of your body and its breathing. And notice how you're being breathed. And follow your next breath inward. And as you do so, allow yourself to become aware of the way your body is relaxing, even now. Any tension that you might feel, any stress, just flows away, slides away, like water off the back of a duck. You can leave your eyes open or softly focus them, close them. It matters not. Allow this music to carry you, to soothe you, to lift you a little higher. To allow you to move a little deeper into who you really are. Again, if you should hear any noise, let it simply be a reminder to turn within, to turn away from the outer world and open to the inner realms. And if your mind wanders off, and it will, allow your awareness of your breath to bring it back to focus. And then follow the next breath inward as you relax. Relax into this moment, into this time. Now I invite you to call to mind any specific prayer request you have. It could be for a dear one, a friend, someone who's going through a treatment, has a condition they're dealing with. Perhaps they've been recently given a diagnosis. And the mind wants to go crazy when that happens. It's one of the reasons why I meditate. It helps me keep my mind disciplined, focused. You don't have to meditate for a lot of minutes every day, just a few, 5 or 6 really good minutes of meditation are better than playing at it for an hour. Call to mind that person or persons, that circumstance or situation. Might be some external thing on the globe or something internal. I know that many people have reached out to me in the last few weeks. We've been at this, living with the pandemic for 2.5 years now. And it's beginning to wear on some people. So use your spiritual practices as a coral reef, as a barrier to mitigate the effects. And frequently allow your mind to rest in God. I think often of the 23rd Psalm. It says in that opening, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil." Notice it doesn't say, stop there in the valley of the shadow of death and build a house or pitch a tent and stay there. It says I move through it. Almighty God, we trust and know that we are able to move through anything. As we call upon you, you are our strength and shield, the faith that frees us, the love that enfolds us, and the power that animates us, all these things and more. We bless those dear ones. We bless the names that have been submitted for our World Day of Prayer that are now in the prayer box. And I invite you to send your list of names to us at prayer@unityofroyaloak.org. Just put in the subject line WDOP requests and then list the names. We will be working with those when we celebrate Unity's World Day of Prayer, which begins on September 7th at, for us, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and concludes on Thursday night the 8th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to stream parts of that. Check our website at unityofroyaloak.org for more information as the next few days pass. And beloveds, we're so grateful to hear from you. I love hearing from you. I'll write back to you. It might take me a couple of days, but I'll get to it. I'd love to encourage you on your path. You see, nothing is more fun for me than watching other people embark consciously on their own journey. We're all on our own journey, and yet we walk together. And know, my friend, that the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. Wherever you are, God is. Wherever I am, God is. All is well. It always is. Namaste.